Joining me right now is the Attorney General of West Virginia, Patrick Morrisey. And AG, it's great to see you. Thanks very much for sitting down.
Good to be with you. Thank you for shining a spotlight on this critical issue.
It's incredible. Your state is on the front lines of the fentanyl crisis. Overdose deaths from the drug nearly doubled from 2019 to 2020. Tell me why West Virginia is particularly vulnerable.
Well, we're vulnerable because when you see the utter border disaster that's going on, ultimately those ingredients that are coming from China, going to the Mexican drug cartels, then this product is made, it's shipped over the border, it eventually makes its way into the heartlands of America, including West Virginia. And we're seeing fentanyl deaths and overdose rates go through the roof. I mean, literally, body bags are lining up at a level that you can't imagine because of what's happening right down here. That's outrageous, and we need to have a lot more focus of President Biden. I mean, it's malfeasance at the highest level. It needs more attention in West Virginia and nationally.
Well, I'm wondering if this is a serious dereliction of duty, because we hear President Biden talk about voting rights, attacking the Republicans, saying, what are Republicans for? Not once has he addressed the fentanyl crisis.
Well, he hasn't. And in fact, the Homeland Security Secretary, Mayorkas, his position should be terminated right now. He needs to be fired immediately because you can't allow this kind of senseless death to keep going on and just say, oh, well, there's nothing we can do. We've been pressing the Homeland Security Department, Biden, and now we just wrote a letter to Secretary of State Blinken with 16 state AGs because we think that Biden and Blinken need to pressure the Mexican government to crack down on the Mexican drug cartels, because that's where this problem's coming from.
Well, these cartels are making so much money. Yesterday, when we were together at the border wall, one of the agents told us that just from human trafficking, these Mexican cartels are making $100 million a week.
That's right.
A week. Imagine how much they're making from the drug trade. I know you say that Mayorkas single-handedly sabotaged the border, and you've sent these letters. Do you think you're going to have any success here? I mean, what are you going to do? Wait for another election? Or do you think there's actually a chance that there will be accountability for his refusal to acknowledge all of this?
I think Americans have to rise up, and as they see the body bags keep lining up because of these absolutely failed and terrible policies of the Biden administration, there's always hope, but we have to keep the pressure up. We have lawsuits. We want them to enforce the laws. West Virginia needs to put even more time and resources to stopping this problem, helping what Texas and others have done. We have to keep fighting. Every day that there's inaction means that more people are going to die.
And this was a really impressive showing yesterday. 13 AGs coming to the border because Texas AG Ken Paxton putting this summit together.
Right.
Some of you had not been here before.
Well, kudos to Governor Abbott and Ken Paxton for organizing this, because being here is a very eye-opening experience. You have the chance to see it firsthand. You see what happened with the wall and what's not happening with the feds and how Texas and states are stepping up to help. We need to shine the spotlight on what's happening.
Tell me about the people of West Virginia, because West Virginia Senator Joe Manchin has been butting heads with his own party. Obviously, he and Senator Christian Sinema stalled President Biden's agenda. Both sided with Republicans and refused to change the filibuster rule. Why would we want to blow up the Senate rules? And they opposed the Build Back Better massive spending. What are your thoughts in terms of the voters, the people in West Virginia, in terms of what's going on with these two senators?
Yeah, so I think we have to be positive when people are doing the right thing. And obviously, coming from me, I think it's important for note, I'm rooting him on. I want him to do the right thing. And West Virginians like when folks stand up to the federal government, what's happening. I would ask Senator Manchin to use some of that energy right now to pressure Biden, to get him to focus a lot more on the immigration disaster, on the fentanyl flooding into our state. That's the number one issue from my perspective. Look, COVID's important, but fentanyl, people are dying by the bucket load, and it's not getting the attention.
What can you do about it?
A couple things. Number one, we're joining litigation to uphold the laws. Texas has taken the lead on a lot of the immigration cases. We filed a lawsuit against the Homeland Security Department, and we're going to train a lot of pressure with the AGs on Blinken, on Biden, on Mayorkas, and others. uphold the darn law and start to pressure these Mexican drug cartels. We also have to look at the financial streams, the amount of money that's flooding into the U.S. with these safe houses and the resources coming in. It's a huge problem, and it deserves the attention. Start to look at those financial streams.
Of course, and look at the journey that these people are taking. There's rape happening, human trafficking. It's absolutely so sad, and not even a conversation about it in this White House. It's extraordinary, AJ.
It's unbelievable. Look,
Yeah.
I mean, it's murder and mayhem at the highest possible level.
Unbelievable.
And you couldn't imagine. This is America.
Yeah.
And our border is just being run over, and the feds are not stepping up.
AG, it's great to have you this morning.
It's great to be here.
Thank you so much. Patrick.